Naps are slowing you down. And I've stopped taking naps for a while for multiple different reasons. And let's just say if I would have stopped this bad habit back when I was in high school, I would have probably been way more productive and definitely a way more better version of myself than I am right now. I was just late to the party, you could say. When I was in high school, after school, I would go straight to practice. And then after practice, I would come home and nap straight away. This nap would last around about 1 to 2 hours. Later at night, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep because I rested earlier in the day. I wouldn't only nap on the weekdays when I had school, but on the weekends when I worked, I would be working a double shift, and when I came back from my first shift, I'd take an hour nap and then go to my second shift later on into the day. I absolutely hated that. This was a constant cycle that I found myself partaking in, and I felt that I was holding myself back in a way. Sometimes I wouldn't even be tired and I found myself taking naps. And that's when I realized I was addicted to napping and I had to make a change. If you are in your self-improvement journey and you find yourself taking naps, you are holding yourself way back. And if I would have known this when I was younger, my journey would have completely changed. I want to put this idea in your mind real quick. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. Out of the 24 hours, you spend 8 hours working or going to school, whichever one. You spend 8 hours sleeping, and then you have 8 hours of free time, usually after work, to do whatever you want. Out of those 24 hours in the day, you would only be able to nap within the 8 hours of your free time. So in those 8 hours of free time, you should be looking at ways to improve yourself, because that's the only time you could be doing that. So let's say you nap 2 hours out of those 8 hours of free time. You are literally taking time away from yourself to become a peak version of yourself. Here's another scenario that relates more to me. So let's say you take a nap for however long. Later at night when you try to fall asleep, it's literally going to be impossible. For me, when I used to take naps, I would nap for a couple hours and then later at night I'd be trying to fall asleep and it would just be so hard, bro. This is one of the ways sleep insomnia occurs, and it could last from 1 day to several weeks. And if you don't know what sleep insomnia is, it basically is having trouble falling asleep or just not being able to go to sleep at all. Some days I would be in bed at 10 p.m. and next thing you know it's 4 a.m. and I'm just tossing and turning left to right. Just literally just trying to fall asleep and doing anything possible so I could fall asleep. Ultimately, this would affect my productivity the next day, whether it was when I was going to the gym. I'd either have a shitty workout or I just wouldn't go at all because I was too tired. And even if I was in school, I wouldn't be paying attention because I was just too tired, bruh. And that was all the result from napping the day before. So what I'm saying is just stop taking naps. When you don't nap and you actually do something worthwhile with your time, like let's say improving on yourself, reading, finding ways to work on your business in the future, you will find that when you go to sleep eventually, that you will just crash in the bed. You go to sleep instantly, and ultimately you will have a more satisfying sleep than what you would have on a regular night. That's because you spent the whole day, whether it was working out or reading or like just improving overall, just gaining knowledge, that by the time you go to sleep, your fuel is going to be almost on empty and you can just crash like that. Meaning that when you get up the next day, you'll be ready to take on the day. Not only that, but when you do all that stuff in a day and you go to sleep like instantly, you also get a feeling of accomplishment because of all you've accomplished throughout the day. Nowadays, I don't even take naps, and if I find myself like tired or like wanting to fall asleep, I literally just do something that will keep my mind away from that, whether it's going to hit a workout, taking cold showers, or even doing push-ups on the spot. Nas once said, "I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death." And I relate this to napping because whenever you nap, your body is inactive as if you were dead, meaning that you can't do anything while you're in this little cycle. You're basically wasting your time on earth one nap at a time, and it will accumulate as well. You're here for a limited amount of time. Memento mori. If you nap 2 hours every day, you're literally wasting your time to become the greater version of yourself. You could have put those 2 hours into working out and building the body of your dreams, or even put those 2 hours into building a side hustle so you can have money on the side. Spend your time wisely, and all it takes is discipline. Discipline is key.